Jazz, a musical genre deeply rooted in African American culture, was born in the late 19th and early 20th century in New Orleans. As the heart of the African American community, this city was the perfect melting pot for a new genre to take shape. Jazz emerged from the soulful cries of the blues and the lively rhythms of ragtime, creating a unique fusion that was both raw and sophisticated. In the early days of jazz, African American musicians played a pivotal role in shaping its sound. Figures like Buddy Bolden, often hailed as the first man of jazz, used his cornet to craft melodies that were both new and exciting. Meanwhile, Jelly Roll Morton, a pianist and composer, was instrumental in defining jazz as a distinct genre. He brilliantly blended elements of blues, ragtime, and his own improvisations to create a sound that was uniquely jazz. These pioneering musicians laid the foundation for what we now recognize as jazz, a genre that would soon sweep across the Americas. As we journey into the 1920s, also known as the Jazz Age, jazz music began to evolve and gain widespread popularity. This was an era of exuberance, cultural expansion, and social dynamism. Jazz was the soundtrack to this lively period, a musical expression of the time's spirit. Jazz music, originally rooted in the southern United States, rapidly spread to the urban hubs of Chicago and New York. These cities became melting pots of cultural exchange, fostering the development and popularity of this unique genre. Jazz clubs sprouted like mushrooms in the city's nightlife, becoming the hotspots for energetic dances and soulful melodies. But this age was not just about the music, it was about the people who made it. One of these individuals was the legendary Louis Armstrong. Known for his virtuoso trumpet playing and distinctive raspy voice, Armstrong's innovative performances and recordings were a driving force in the popularization of jazz. Another key figure was Duke Ellington, a prolific composer and band leader. With his orchestra, he elevated jazz from dance hall music to a higher art form. His compositions were a blend of melodies, rhythms, and subtle sonic movements that painted a colorful soundscape. And of course, we cannot forget the First Lady of Song, Ella Fitzgerald. With her perfect pitch, diction, and improvisational ability, Fitzgerald was a master of scat singing, turning her voice into a musical instrument. But as the 1930s rolled in, the Great Depression cast a dark shadow over America. Jazz was not immune to its effects. Many musicians found themselves out of work as clubs closed down. Yet jazz adapted and endured, morphing into swing, a style of jazz that offered an upbeat escape from the harsh realities of life. Then came World War II, another challenging time that saw the rise of bebop, a more complex form of jazz, as musicians sought to reflect the world's tensions and complexities in their music. Despite the hardships of the era, jazz continued to flourish, evolving into new styles and subgenres. The resilience and adaptability of jazz are a testament to its significance in our cultural tapestry. As we move into the second half of the 20th century, jazz continues to adapt and evolve, reflecting the social and cultural changes of the times. In this era, new styles of jazz began to emerge, each one bringing its unique flavor to the rich tapestry of the genre. Bebop, for instance, was a complex and improvisational style that broke away from the traditional dance-oriented big bands. It was a form of jazz that was all about musicianship and artistry. One of its pioneers was the great Charlie Parker, whose rapid-fire phrasing and innovative harmonic ideas made him a legend in his own time. Simultaneously, cool jazz was brewing, a response to the high-speed and high-energy bebop. This style, championed by musicians like Miles Davis, focused on arranged compositions and a more relaxed, melodic approach. It was a style that favored subtlety over showmanship, and it had a profound influence on the direction jazz would take in the coming decades. Then there was free jazz, a radical departure from the structured and predictable forms of its predecessors. Spearheaded by artists like John Coltrane, free jazz was characterized by its chaotic, unrestrained improvisation, reflecting the tumultuous times of the civil rights movement. Indeed, jazz was not created in a vacuum. It was, and always has been, a reflection of the society from which it sprang. During the civil rights movement, jazz became a medium for expressing the hopes, frustrations, and demands for justice of the African American community. It was a powerful tool that gave voice to the voiceless, and its influence extended far beyond the confines of music. Today, jazz remains a vibrant and influential genre, a testament to its enduring appeal and the talented musicians who continue to push its boundaries. This is jazz in the modern era, a music genre that has not only survived but thrived, continually reinventing itself while staying true to its roots. It's a genre that continues to tell stories, evoke emotions, and challenge conventions, just as it did when it first emerged in the streets of New Orleans over a century ago. From its humble beginnings in New Orleans to its place on the world stage, jazz has remained a powerful voice in American culture. Its history weaves through the Jazz Age, the Civil Rights Movement, and into the modern era. Figures like Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, and Miles Davis have shaped its evolution, making jazz a rich tapestry of cultural expression. The history of jazz is a reflection of the American experience, a testament to the power of music to inspire, challenge, and unite us all.